Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button right now, because we are on a journey to understand computers from absolute scratch. So far, we've covered what is a computer, how a computer works, and input versus output devices. And today, we're cracking open a topic that is going to make everything else click into place. Today, we're answering the big question, what is hardware? Now look, if you ever opened up a computer or even just looked at one and thought, okay, there's a screen, there's a keyboard, there's stuff inside that box, and you weren't totally sure what to call any of it, this video is exactly for you. By the end of this, you're going to look at any computer anywhere and instantly know exactly what's hardware and what's not. And stick around till the end, because I got a fun little quiz for you to test what you've learned. Let's get into it. So let's start simple. What is hardware? In the simplest words, hardware is anything in a computer that you can physically touch. That's the golden rule. If you can pick it up, hold it, carry it, drop it, and yes, possibly break it if you're clumsy like me, it's hardware. Let's make this even more real. Imagine your computer is like a human body. Hardware is the actual physical body. The hands, the eyes, the brain, the heart. It's the stuff that exists in physical form. Later, we're going to talk about software, which is more like the thoughts and instructions running through that body. But we'll save that for another day. Today, it's all about the physical stuff, the hardware. Now, here's where most beginners get confused. They think hardware is just the stuff they can see from the outside, keyboard, mouse, monitor. But hardware is actually split into different categories. And once you understand these categories, computers are going to make so much more sense. So let's break it down properly. Category 1. External hardware, also called peripheral devices. These are all the hardware pieces that sit outside the main computer case, the ones you directly interact with. Remember our input and output devices video? Every single one of those was external hardware. Your keyboard, external hardware used to type. Your mouse, external hardware used to click and navigate. Your monitor, external hardware used to display output. Your printer, your speakers, your webcam, your microphone, every single one of these sits outside the main box, and every single one of these you can touch. Here's a fun way to remember this. External hardware is like the furniture and accessories in a house. The lamp, the sofa, the TV remote, you can see them, touch them, move them around, and they help you interact with the house. That's exactly the role peripherals play with your computer. Category 2, internal hardware. Now, this is where it gets exciting, because this is the stuff hiding inside that big computer case that most people never actually see. Let's open it up, virtually of course, and take a tour. First up, the CPU, the central processing unit. This is the absolute brain of the computer. Every calculation, every click you make, every command you type, it all gets processed right here in this tiny chip. Fun fact. Modern CPUs can perform billions of calculations every single second. If the computer was a human body, the CPU isn't just a brain. It's the brain thinking at superhuman speed, non-stop. Next, RAM, random access memory. Think of RAM as a computer's short-term memory, like your own memory when you're cooking and trying to remember 5 steps of a recipe at once. Let's say you're playing a game, you got Spotify running, and you've got 15 browser tabs open. Yes, we've all been there. RAM is what's holding all that active information, so your CPU can grab it instantly. The more RAM you have, the more your computer can juggle at once without slowing down or freezing up. Then, the motherboard. This is the big green circuit board inside the case that connects literally everything together. If the CPU is the brain, the motherboard is a nervous system. It's a highway that lets every single piece of hardware talk to each other. Without the motherboard, your CPU, RAM, and storage would just be separate pieces with no way to communicate. Now let's talk storage. Your hard disk drive, the HDD, or the newer, much faster version, the SSD, solid-state drive. This is where all your files live permanently. Your photos, videos, documents, games, even the operating system itself. Here's the key difference from RAM. RAM forgets everything the second you turn the power off, but storage remembers everything, even with zero power. That's why when you shut down your computer, you don't lose your files. but you do lose whatever was open and unsaved in RAM. And finally, the power supply unit, the PSU. Exactly what it sounds like. It pulls electricity from the wall, converts it, and feeds the right amount of power to every single component, so the whole system can actually turn on and function. No PSU, no power, no computer. Simple as that. Now let's actually see this in action with a quick real-world story. Let's say right now, you click play on a YouTube video. Here's what just happened in milliseconds. Your mouse, an input device, sent a signal to the CPU saying click happen here. The CPU processed that instantly and told the RAM, hey, load this video data. We need it ready right now. The RAM grabbed a video file from your storage drive, held it ready for instant access, and the CPU processed the video and audio data and sent it to your monitor and speakers, your output devices, for you to actually see and hear. And this entire chain of hardware working together happened in literally less time than it took me to say it. That, right there, is hardware working as a team. No single piece does the job alone. The CPU, RAM, motherboard, storage, power supply, and all your peripherals, they all depend on each other. Now, let's clear up a common misconception people have. A lot of beginners think bigger computer case means more powerful computer. Not true at all. The size of the case has nothing to do with performance. It's what hardware is actually inside that case that matters. You can have a tiny mini PC with powerful CPU and tons of RAM that outperforms a huge case with weak, outdated parts. Don't judge hardware by size. Hardware has to be a functional, physical part of the computer system. A laptop bag protects it, but it doesn't help it process, store, or display anything. All right, now here's the fun part one promised. Let's do a quick interactive quiz. I'll describe something, and in your head, or even better, in the comments, tell me, is it hardware or not hardware? Number 1, a USB flash drive. Got your answer? That's hardware. You can touch it and it stores data. Number 2, Microsoft Word, the app you type documents in. That one's not hardware. That's software, because you can't physically touch a program. It's just code. Number 3, your laptop's webcam. Hardware, you can touch it and it's a physical input device. Number 4, the sound coming out of your speakers. Tricky one. That's not hardware. The speaker itself is hardware, but the sound it produces is just output, not a physical thing you can hold. How'd you do? Drop your score in the comments. I want to see who got all 4 right. Let's do one final recap before we wrap up, because repetition is how this stuff really sticks. Hardware is any physical part of a computer you can touch. It splits into external hardware or peripherals like your keyboard, mouse, monitor, printer, and speakers. And internal hardware, the stuff hidden inside the case, like your CPU, RAM, motherboard, storage drive, and power supply. Every piece has its own specific job, but they all work together as a team, instantly, every single time you use your computer. And that's it for today's video. Guys, I really hope this made hardware crystal clear for you. If it did, you know exactly what to do. Smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel grow more than you'd think. If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because next up, we are finally diving into software. And trust me, after today's video, that one is going to make perfect sense. Drop a comment below and let me know, what's one piece of hardware you didn't know about before this video? I read and reply to every single comment. So don't be shy. Say hi down there. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the very next video. Take care and goodbye.